Hi, fourth and fifth grade teachers. We are going to walk you through how to mark up a single student in your classroom's report card. So once you have your individual students' roster pulled up, their report card pulled up, you will first fill in the attendance and just indicate whether or not that has affected their schoolwork. The attendance from August 25th through November 7th will automatically be populated for you, so you don't need to worry about that. Then you'll get into showing the scores for reading, and the first standard will be literature. And what you'll do in fourth and fifth grade is you'll indicate whether the child is, let's say, a 3 for literature overall. And then you'll need to make sure that you show something here for each cluster to indicate whether or not the child is showing as a strength, performing on grade level, or maybe that's an area of need. For each cluster. If for some reason you haven't had a chance to teach and assess a particular cluster of standards, it would be okay this trimester to mark an NE to show that it was not evaluated during this marking period. So once you have something marked for each cluster of standards, you'll just move down to the next section, which is informational text, and you'll do the same thing. Let's say the child is struggling in informational text, you give them a 2. And in particular, they need help with integration of knowledge and ideas, but they're on grade level in some of these other ways. That's one way you can mark that up. You'll do the same thing for foundational skills. Then once you get into the writing standards, you'll give a score for narrative writing. And then you can go ahead and mark NE for both informational and opinion argument. Develops and strengthens writing, we're asking you to give a score for that, as well as researches to build and present knowledge as best as you can. These are areas in our curriculum where the child in fourth or fifth grade can score a 4. Same is true for speaking and listening. Let's say this is a true strength for this child and you want to indicate that with a 4, you'll do that here. And then once you get down to language, these are just 3-able areas of their curriculum. So let's say grammar, they're struggling, and then you want to show that they're on grade level in these other areas. Once you get down to math, it's going to feel very similar to what reading felt like, where you'll give 1 score, and then you'll show in particular if it's a area of strength, performing on grade level, or maybe an area of need. If for some reason you haven't quite covered one cluster of a particular strand or domain of the standards, you can just mark an NE. Let's say you haven't covered yet fractions, you can NE that whole section. And let's say same is true for measurement and data. Again, these are all just sample markings that I'm showing you right now. And then once you get down to mathematical practices, we want to make sure and point out that that's also an area where a child can score a 4 in fourth or fifth grade. And then you get into science, social studies, and VAPA, visual and performing arts. The music teacher, PE teacher, and science lab teachers will go ahead and mark their own. On this sample that I'm showing you, it looks like the teacher had already marked up music, so you'll see once your specialist teachers have indicated their scores for you. Then what you're looking at is report card habits of success and lifelong learning. This is the part of the report card that is on the back side, where you get a chance to really reflect on how that student is performing in terms of just classwork and overall habits. And you'll go ahead and mark those up. Again, here you're just using the legend of strength, performing on grade level, or area of need. So you'll go ahead and indicate those here, like so. And then for fifth grade, you'll see a section on your report card called Progress Toward Promotion. That's only for fifth grade teachers to mark. Oh, I'm sorry, I misspoke. This is something that all teachers will see. The part that's particular just to fifth grade is the section that's called Middle School Readiness. So fourth grade teachers, don't worry if you don't see that on your report card. But I did just want to remind you how to mark up your SIP or SST markings. You only need to mark a box if the child has a current SIP or SST on file for the current marking period, in which case you would just show yes if you're working with the family and the school on developing that. Otherwise, you can show just no, like there's none of that on file for this marking period. Um, and then you'll get down to comment section. If you would like to, you have 3 drop-down options. You can choose curriculum strengths or comments from here, citizenship, study skills, homework attendance. But if you have a child that's currently in special ed, you may communicate with the special ed teacher or the resource teacher to decide how you'd like to indicate that on the report card, but you do have the option of saying the student is working on individual goals. But you get 3 choices here, and then once it's time to write your custom comments, where you get to share personal reflections on the student's progress, you can do that with up to 560 characters. And the specialist teachers will have a chance to go in on their own and draft their own comment section. They have less characters than you guys do. Don't forget to save at the end. And we hope this helps you to mark up your very first Common Core report card. And we hope it's a fairly seamless process for you. Good luck!